Outdoor displays are like a booming technology nowadays, I would say, because we have more and more outdoor applications that require outdoor display. The other thing is why the special displays are required in outdoor is because the user demands are growing. We are used to higher brightness phones actually right now, and we are used to have the perfectly seen image. We require high contrast, high readability, and we do not accept anymore the poor display that maybe we need to like look on with shadowing the screen because it's not brightly seen. It's a big topic, and there are many new applications like that require displays, and that's why this market is growing pretty fast. So we will cover today outdoor displays. So starting first, maybe what are the challenges? The challenges, of course, are related to the environment. Outdoor environment is pretty hard and way harder than the indoor. Indoor, typically we have not too much light, constant temperature, no water, no rain, and it's pretty easy to prepare the display for indoor, but outdoor is different story. We have, first of all, temperatures that can range from minus maybe 20 or in some places minus 30 or even lower, up to, it really depends. Typically, of course, the air temperature can be maybe as high as 25, 30, up to 40 degrees. That could be in the Middle East or in Africa regions. But actually with the high temperature, we have a problem of the accumulating the heat from the sun. On the lower end, it's no problem. We have minus 20, then our device will be at minus 20 if we don't have a heater, or it is minus 30, then it will be minus 30. But with the high end of the spectrum of the temperature, we have a lot of energy coming from the sun. And if we don't have the proper design of the device, the display can be way hotter than the air around. Yes, so when we have 30 degrees around, actually our display or the surface of the display can go up to maybe 70 degrees or 80 degrees or even 100 degrees in some cases. So it's super important to select the right display. The other factor is the water. So we have the moisture and rain. So we need to work with the water. So we need to have, first of all, the proper touch screen that will work in this environment. We discussed this in the other in the other video. We have the moisture and the water in general that can get into the enclosure. So we need to take care about that as well. So we need a proper sealing. Environment factors are very important. So let's jump into the details. When we select the display, it's very important to first check, is it designed or not for outdoor applications. In Riverdi, we have a standard display series called IPS, high brightness, which are 1000 candela brightness. And they are, let's say, semi-outdoor. They are outdoor prepared, and there are many applications that are outdoor right now with the screens. They are well seen under the sun, even if it's not direct sun, they are still readable. So you can select actually the standard display from Riverdi and be sure that your device will work well outdoor. And we also designed our screens to cover the water problem, so we can tune the touchscreen to work with the water. And what is more important, we can change the glass thickness, so make your device vandal-proof. But let's go step by step. So first of all, for outdoor, we need a temperature. That's pretty easy. We need to check the card. And our standard displays can work from minus 20 up to 70 degrees, which is covering most parts of the world with the devices, and actually they can go lower. We have tested for selected customers. They ask us for extended temperature versions, and we have tested, for example, our 7-inch that is working very well still under minus 30 degrees and is working up to almost 80 degrees on the surface of the screen. So even the standard display actually can work in very wide temperatures. So we have that covered. Then we go to the brightness. So as I mentioned, we have 1000 candela screens, and what is important here, not only the brightness of the screen, but also the reflections. If we will take care about that as well, we can have pretty good outdoor display. So first of all, we have a brightness 1000, and then we remove reflection. How we do that? We do it with the optical bonding first. So we remove the air that is in between the touchscreen and the TFT. With that, we are removing the internal reflections. In Riverdi, it's super easy because actually our standard models are equipped with optical bonding. So there is no MOQ, you can buy a standard product and test it with optical bonding already. But if it's not enough, we can add you special coatings, yes? And typical outdoor coatings will be either anti-glare, that is, let's say, scattering the light and making the reflected light a little bit blurry and it's improving the display visibility. Or other technology is covering the surface of the touchscreen with the anti-reflective layer. So from, let's say, typical 4-5% of the reflection that we got on the regular touchscreen, we can go down maybe to 1.5 or less percent. So not only the brightness is important, but also optical bonding would be number one, and then special codes. Going further, what else is important? Of course, vandal-proof and like impact resistance would be important factor. By standard, our displays are equipped with the 1.1 cover glass on the touchscreen, and then there is a sensor glass which is like 0.7, so almost 2 mm of the glass, and then optically bonded. They are pretty strong. It's not easy to destroy them or break them with the hand, but actually if you are outdoor and you want like true vandal-proof application, you may want to go to 3 mm or maybe 4 mm, or in some cases we make like 6 mm for the customers, which is actually impossible to break with your hand. So we do not do let's say thicker glasses. Our touchscreens can support 10 mm or even 15 mm in some cases, but most of the customers decide for like a vandal-proof devices something in between 4 mm to 6 mm, and 4 mm I would say it's the most common, because as I mentioned, it's really hard. You cannot break it with the hand. You can break it with the hammer, but with the hammer you can break pretty much everything. It's important to select the display that can support such thick glass, and this is important to select the right sensor, touch sensor and touch controller, which by the way in Riverdi is no problem, because our standard products are already equipped with the sensors and touch controllers. So if you select our standard product and you would like to increase the thickness of the glass, it's no problem. Just please contact us and we'll be happy to assist you and change the cover glass for a thicker version for you. Another factor that is super important and skipped by the customers or the manufacturers of the screens is a UV resistance. If we are creating the outdoor device, we want it to work long under the sun exposure, and UV light from sun is very damaging. And if we didn't care about it in the first place and we didn't use the proper materials, that will be, let's say, the touch sensor, maybe polarizers or painting, after a few years, it could happen anything in between few months or a couple of years, the UV light typically will destroy most of the screens. Yes. So when selecting the screen, please make sure that the manufacturer took care about that. If they are not stating that or saying that they are that their displays are, let's say, outdoor proof and UV protected, then probably they are not, and you should expect problems. Yes, and the tricky part here is that these problems will not occur after manufacturing. Yes, they can occur, as I mentioned, several months later or years later, and that will be very problematic later. In Riverdi, actually, we are using UV protected materials for our displays, so they are safe to be used outdoor. And maybe last thing important when you select the display is how easy it will be to seal the enclosure. Take care about that as well. And look on the gasket, maybe like the surface of the glass, and how you will seal. So maybe if you are mounting the display from the inside, there will be good to have some hooks, mounting hooks. We have the versions with the frame that can help you to press the display against the housing with the gasket in front, or maybe you will want to mount the display from the outside. We also have a solution for that. If you need a full sealing that is like a one-piece gasket around it, so without any holes or gaps, then please contact our team. We will be also happy and able to change the gasket for you for the right material, because your housing may be plastic or could be metal. That will be different gasket, different type. We will need to know that. If you have the outdoor device and you have high requirements toward it, please contact our team, and then we will discuss together what materials and solutions will be the best for your application. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.